Hi, my name is Felicia St. Clair, soon to be Mrs. Delva. So it was 2007, and I don't know what was going on in my life. I was young, I was carefree, know what I was doing. And we were at church, and we were at the parking lot, and it was something that we did growing up at our church. And I was in the parking lot, and I had never really spoken to him or anything. But God works in mysterious ways. It's a mystery to us. He knows everything. But we were in the parking lot, me and my friend girl Lulu, and thank God we're still friends till this day. And Ralph's car pulls up. He was riding a white Grand Prix at the time, and I was riding what we called as the hoopty back in those days. And I just stood in front of the car, and I was like, I'm not moving. And he was like, if you don't know Ralph, this is his personality all day. So he's sitting there like, okay, are you gonna move? And I'm like, I'm not moving until you talk to me. I'm not letting you go. And honestly, I don't know why I said that. One day God will reveal it to me, but I told him he wasn't gonna leave. And so at that point, that's where our journey began. I don't even know, and we're talking about 12 years later. And so he comes downstairs and we get to talking, and apparently he had a date that same night. And honestly, I didn't care. I don't know why I didn't care, but I think the bossiness in me just didn't care. And so we got in the car and we were just talking. I don't remember what we were talking about, but funny thing is, I don't know if you remember that night or nights later that I apparently tried to hit his mom with a car. And I didn't even know that. And I didn't know that a week later I would be talking to her son. And so we started talking from that point, and I would honestly say that was one of the most serious moments in my life. We were talking every night. He used to work overnight, and we were talking every night. And so one of those nights, I want to say it was the 16th, either the 14th or the 16th, and we were like, maybe we should date. Maybe we should make this serious, whatever. And we actually prayed about it. We got off the phone and we went and did our own thing, prayed about it. I ain't never prayed about no, well, I almost said nigga, but I ain't never prayed about no nigga. But that time, it was like, let's pray about it. And mind you, I wasn't even knee deep in my faith, in my walk or anything. It was just, let's do this. So we prayed about it, and I'll never forget it. I mean, he'd probably want to beat me up for saying it, but he said, when we came back and had the conversation afterwards, he was like, there's this feeling in my heart when I think about you, and I prayed about it, and I think we should date. And I was like, I think so too. God gave us the green light, and now look at us. I mean, so many years later, we're in 2019, and we've had so many bumps along the way, bumps and bruises. And as we were dating over the course of the past couple of years, we always said we was gonna be with each other. We would get married. We would have each other's kids. It was me and him against the world. And the world did come. I will be very honest. The world did come. We had highs, we had lows, We had times we broke up. We had times that we didn't speak. We had times we fought, not physical fight, but like arguing. But one thing about it, I could never stay mad at Ralph for like maybe 5 minutes max. If I time it, it's probably like 5 minutes because like it just never would work for me to be mad at him for a long period of time because he always said something or did something, or it just was never worth it to harbor something in my heart towards him. And so even with all of the things that happened in our relationship over these past few years, I didn't really know that Ralph was the guy until I was locked up. And I was like, man, God, I don't know if I'm gonna get out or if I'm gonna have kids or anything like that. And I really messed up. And I read this book in Hosea, and I mean, not a book in Hosea, but I read a book in the Bible named Hosea. And it reminded me so much of our relationship. And I prayed and I said, God, if he's really the one and he's supposed to be my husband, then you will give him the spirit and the grace and everything that he needs to forgive me. And we'll be together. And so it was many times I would be on the phone with him and I'm like, well, we need to start planning. He's like, planning what? I'm like, we need to start planning our future, our kids, our house, our everything. And he would be like, we'll wait till you get home. We'll wait till this is all over. And I'm like, dude, I got this. Like, God already told me this is what it is, and this is how it is. And if you can't get in the picture, figure it out. But along the way, it'll happen. So you get ready. I'm gonna be ready, but you need to get ready. And so, you know, time went on, and it was one day last year. We're in 2019, mind you. One day last year, he was just like, let's do this. And I was like, let's do this. And I couldn't have picked a better partner, a better friend. I mean, you know, I've always held dear to the fact that we're a month apart in our birthdays. Like, he's October 2nd, I'm November 2nd. And we play around a lot together. He stays away from my dad and some of my closest friends in birth. And he's just always been like my greatest support system, my greatest fan. He loves my mom so much. And I just couldn't find somebody else to be the best version of me. I mean, when I'm upset, he helps me come down. When I'm upset, he helps me to rationalize. When I am happy, he's happy for me, with me. He allows me to be the bird that I need to be when I want to be a bird. And, you know, it's just, food always does us good. So if we were to argue today, it would be, you want something to eat? And we'd be back to where we were before the argument. So at this point in my life, I'm so excited because I want to continue this journey with him. It's been like 13 years, no, 12 years, and I think I made the right choice.
My name is Ralph Delva. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was headed to, I was driving a 98, a white 98 GTP, and I pulled up in the 119th. Everybody went to Zion, know 119th Church, and I pulled up into the parking lot, and this girl just stood in front of me. I wasn't paying attention, you know, I was just early 20s, barely 20, just, you know, coming to just do what I gotta do and head out. And I just seen her. I knew of Felicia, but you know, it was just through passing. I think a couple Saturdays beforehand. I think she had almost, probably literally hit my mom when she was trying to leave. But you know, I used to joke with her about it, nothing serious. And then she just stood in front of the car and was like, "You gonna talk to me today?"
Lucky day.
Lucky day, huh?
Cause you finna be talking to me.
Talking to you about what?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I swerve in and not thinking nothing of it. She comes to the car and we just start politicking and talking and but I had to go up, so I was like, okay, we can continue this conversation a little bit later. Got exchanged numbers, and then I went upstairs, do what I had to do. I'm coming down. I didn't think I'm not gonna say I forgot, but I was like, I didn't think, you know, she was serious. So I thought she left. So when I'm coming down the stairs, who's there is her, and I'm like, oh man, so she's serious. We was talking so long, I forgot that I actually had a date, prior engagement. But I have a meeting to go to.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm finna be here and you're not finna leave unless you talk to me.
Alright, I'll catch you on the get back.
On the get back?
Yes.
Alright. This car ain't gonna be clean if you don't.
Alright. Like I
Alright, go ahead.
Alright.
You know, she never left my conscience, even throughout the date. So, and after that, we continued talking, and then I think it was July 14th, we went on a date, and then it was to TGI Fridays, and it was a great time, and we went on a couple more dates, and then after that, just decided, I forgot what we were talking about, we were joking, and I think she started saying something, and I was just like, damn man, you just want to be my girl? And then she was like, yeah. And then that's just how it started, materialized. And then, you know, it was a real roller coaster ride, two young people, just going through the motions of a relationship, not knowing whether it was going to be serious or just just a little thing. And we went through a lot of trials, tribulations over these 12 years. And through it all, in the beginning, we weren't friends. We were just, living. And then we went through a rough patch where we were arguing, and then we broke up for some years. We both went through our own stuff, but we always kept in contact with each other some way, somehow. And any trouble I would have, she's the one that first to call, and she'll come through and help. And vice versa. And through that period, we became stronger friends. And if you don't know, she ended up getting into a little trouble with the law, and there could have been times I could have just said, that's her problem, just leave it. She's just gonna deal with it on her own. But that just never came to mind, because that's my friend. That's my road dog. It's my heart, and she always had a special place in my heart. And we always said that we would always get back together and have children, because she's excellent with kids, and let my mom tell it, she'll be a better disciplinarian to the kids, because apparently I'm too soft on the kids, on my nieces and goddaughters. But through all her serious trials, the Lord put it on me to be there, and I was there for her like I was supposed to. and now we're coming out on the other side, blessed, highly favored, and I just knew, even though when she would get me upset, it was never to the point where I just didn't want to deal with her no more. It was always, just a little bit for a little while, and then it'll go away. And there are times where it really was like, I just need to get away from her and just clean break. But something in my heart wouldn't let me do it because she's my heart, and she's my friend, my best friend. I love her more than she knows. So, fortunately, my proposal wasn't super romantic, but it was a culmination of all we've been through. And now we're taking that step forward into the next phase of our journey. And I'm glad it's her, not nobody else.